What is going on, everyone? My name is the California Cougar, and today I'm going to be talking about Survivor All-Stars. Yes, it is the 8th season in the history of the show, and it is also the first season that consists of entirely returning players. And it's also the first season to have 18 players instead of just the normal 16. So yeah, a lot of different things happening with this season, and it also has 3 tribes instead of 2. That's the other big thing. So yeah, a lot of new things happening in this season. And what do I think of this season? A lot of people tend to hate on this season. They think it's like, oh, it's super disappointing. Look at the final 4. Not a very likable cast. And I gotta say, I think they're wrong for a lot of it. I find this season to be highly underrated. I think it's one of the better all-returnee seasons for sure. And it's one of the better seasons with returning players in general. Like, even over, like, some of the fans versus favorite season or blood versus water or things like that. I think this season, is a really good season. Starting off with the cast. I mean, at the time, it was the best cast of the entire show, pretty much. You have so many great players returning back. Like, from Survivor Borneo, of course, Richard Hatch, Rudy, Sue. I do wish they brought Kelly back instead of Sue, but whatever, I guess. Rudy and Rich I thought were really good. They did bring back Jenna Lewis as well. I wasn't the biggest fan of Jenna Lewis on the original season. She was better this season, but still, I wouldn't say she's I wouldn't really say she's that great of a player. And the fact that she made Final 3 does bring it down a little bit. But yeah, still decent overall. From Australia, of course, you have Colby coming back. You have Tina coming back. She was great. You have, Jerry, of course, Alicia. A lot of great players from that season come back as well. From Africa, you have the big 3 from there, Lex, Ethan, and Big Tom, who are fantastic. From Marquesas, not a lot from Marquesas. I mean, really, it's just Kathy and Rob. Those are the main ones. And then, of course, from Thailand, I mean, yeah, you want to know how bad Thailand's cast is. Look at the number of returning players from that season. Only one person has ever returned from that cast, and it's Xian. She was voted off pre-merge on Thailand. I mean, that just shows you how bad Thailand's cast is. And then from Amazon, I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't bring back more people from Amazon. They brought back Jenna, and they brought back Rob. That was really it. Yeah, Sesternino. That was really it, though. They didn't really bring back anybody else. And then Pearl Islands, of course, they bring back Rupert, because who else are you going to bring back? So yeah, that's the cast. The cast is awesome. I mean, and a lot of them do the same things they do in their original season. Like, Big Tom makes it far again. We see a resurgence of Rob Mariano, Boston Rob. I mean, this was his season. It really was. Like, yeah, Boston Rob just totally dominates this entire season. And he's just absolutely amazing. He kills it out there. Just an amazing showing from Boston Rob. Yeah, Big Tom's great. Rupert is fantastic. I actually think Rupert's even better in this season than he was in Pearl Islands. Yeah, Lex was great for the pre-merge, although we'll talk about him a little bit more in a bit. Ethan, for a winner, I thought did really well. Jerry, she was okay. A lot of people still hated her. Kathy was fun to have. Alicia was alright. Xian was even better than she was in Thailand. Big Tom was fantastic. I already talked about her. Amber was fantastic as well. Like, even though she's a bit of a weaker winner, she was still really good this season, I thought. So yeah, like, the cast was just fantastic for the most part, aside from a couple duds, but yeah, like, it was just fantastic. As for moments, there are so many great moments this season. Like, they start with almost nothing, with a machete. I think that's all they got was a machete, if I remember right. Like, they had a water well, but they couldn't boil the water because they had no fire. So yeah, they had no flint. They had to work to build fire. Like, they didn't even get the Saboga tribe at the beginning. They didn't even get their torches after their first travel because they hadn't made fire yet. So the struggle for water, like, their survival aspect of this season was just amazing. They had to poke fish with a stick. We saw Hatch do that. I mean, Hatch still runs around naked. Like, take that as you will. But he was funny still, I think. I mean, 260 pounds a hatch. You have the Tom versus Sue stuff. Jenna Maraska had to leave the game to be with her mom, which was really unfortunate. But, I mean, I respect her decision. I wouldn't really call her a Survivor quitter because I feel like she had a valid reason to leave. And she was right. 8 days later, her mom died. So she was right. Because if she had stayed, I mean, who knows if she would have been voted off if the Mogo Mogo tribe ever lost. But, yeah, like, day 17 would have been the day her mom died. And that would have been really unfortunate for her. She probably wouldn't have been able to live with herself. But, so, yeah, I do respect Jenna's decision. Sue quits. That's a big moment of the season. The whole Hatch and Sue stuff. Yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable to watch, but it was short-lived for the most part. It was really only one episode, and then Sue quits the game. So, yeah, it doesn't really leave as much of an impact like the top Ted and Gandia stuff from Thailand or anything like that. So, yeah, there was that. And then, of course, Colby getting blindsided. That was great for the show, even though I loved Colby. Jerry getting blindsided, like that tribe swap, that episode is one of the best episodes ever because like Rob is missing his girl. Like you see Rob cry basically, like he's crying and you just see the whole emotional side of him. It's so amazing. He's making that deal with Lex. Amber's trying to talk to Kathy about everything, trying to convince her to keep her in the game, and then Jerry gets blindsided. Lex talks to Jerry about it. Like, yeah, and let's talk about the tribes for a second. So, the Shapira tribe. This is one of my favorite tribes that the show's ever had, because they just want to have fun. Kathy said it best. The Shapira tribe is fun. I mean, look at the yacht reward, where they were on the yacht and they have a big barbecue. So good. That was just such a good moment. And I absolutely adored that moment. It was so good. And yeah, the Shapira tribe as a whole, they were just all about having fun. Their camp was amazing. I mean, Rob showing off his construction skills was absolutely fantastic. And they use like the parachute and the tarp for everything. They're forming the bond with Kathy and all that. Yeah, the pre-merge I just thought was a lot of fun. It is a little bit unfortunate that the winners are targeted immediately. So, like, Ethan, Tina, Richard Hatch, they're all targeted early. Jenna, like, they all left early. But, yeah, I mean, that's part of what made it so good is there were some blind sides in the pre-merge as well. Rob Sesternino's blind side was amazing. It's unfortunate that it completely ruined his whole Survivor career because... yeah, that blindside was absolutely amazing. They brought back the mix and match reward challenge that Sesternino was in, and it was just as good this time as it was in Amazon. So yeah, that was fun. The challenges were great. Again, like the whole Flint rice bowl thing, they had to unlock keys for rice. Like that was fun. That whole aspect was fun. The post-merge, yeah, the post-merge with everyone and the Final Four. Rupert versus Rob to see who can catch the most fish. That was amazing. And just the final two I thought was fantastic. But yeah, the highlight of this whole thing is Rob and Amber. Their romance, it was just absolutely amazing. We haven't seen a romance like it on Survivor. And I don't think we ever will again because no one goes out there to have a romance like they did in this season. So yeah, like that moment is just so amazing. Rob giving Amber a car. That was awesome. The whole car date. Jeff telling Amber to get in the back seat while Rob drives him on the beach. That was absolutely amazing. The whole Rob thing where he wins letters from home, or he wins a video from his brother and decides to give it up to give everybody letters from home. That was great. The loved ones visit I thought was fantastic with Bucky Bowe, Tom's son. That was amazing. Rob and his brother are partying. Like, there's just so many great moments. And then, of course, the finale where Rob proposes to Amber just before the final vote. And, yeah, he feels like he already won. America's Tribal Council, that was another thing added to the season that I thought was absolutely fantastic. There's just so many great moments. The reunion show as a whole, like you could still see people were bitter, but they eventually some people made up. Like we saw Rob and Tom make up. But yeah, speaking of bitterness, let's get into the negatives. And one of my main negatives is that the jury was just so bitter. Lex, Tom, Alicia, they were all bitter. Kathy was like the only one that I feel like forgave Rob for what he did to Lex and all that. Like I feel like Kathy was really the only one. But then again, she was also really mad at Amber because she felt like Amber deceived her more, I feel like. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And then Lex, I mean, the dude just looks like the biggest hypocrite ever this season. Like, come on, dude. You go to Ethan, like, right before he's about to get voted off, you're like, it's just business. I have to do this. It's just business. Where Ethan's pleading his case to get rid of Jerry. Like, she doesn't deserve to be here. And yet Lex is like, it's just business. I have to do it. And then he votes Jerry out the next episode, saying this pretty much the same thing. And then Rob at least has the decency to tell Lex, like, hey man, I have to stick with my tribe. I can't help you. Lex just has the audacity to call him out and say like, oh, I'm betrayed by my friend. And then at his final jury speech, he's like, it's not just a game, it's life. Give me a break, dude. Like, you go around, you backstab Ethan, you backstab Jerry, and then you have the audacity to call Rob out, saying like what kind of friend he is, and say like it's not just a game, it's life. Shut up. Get over yourself. It's a game, dude. So yeah, this season made me really hate Lex and just see the kind of person he is. It was a little bit of a low blow for Rob to ask him for a favor and then turn his back on him like that, but it's a game. What do you expect? You shouldn't have fallen for it in the first place. You should have gotten rid of Amber while you could have. So yeah, big mistake on Lex there. And yeah, and then he votes for Amber at the end. Which Amber, I mean, I love Amber, but she is kind of a weak winner. Especially when you compare it to how ruthless and dominating Rob was this season. Like, this was Rob's game. He should have won it. He probably should have swept the jury vote, if I'm being completely honest. But of course, if you're going to have bitter people, yeah, and that's the other thing about returning player seasons is all the pregame alliances, the friendships that form outside the game. It was just all brought into this game, and I didn't really like that. So, yeah, that does bring the season down a little bit for me. And the post-merge, while it does have its fun moments, again, Rupert with the reward at the restaurant, I thought that was funny. And the loved one visit and all that. And the car, yeah, all that good stuff. Like, as good as that is, it's just a pagonging for the most part. Like, Lex goes, and then Kathy goes, and then they were going to vote Sheehan off, but Sheehan won immunity, and then they vote her off next anyway. But, yeah, the Final Five is great. I will say that. The Final Five is great because, I mean, Rob and Amber, they're stuck choosing between, like, Big Tom and then Rupert and Jenna, who they made promises to. So, yeah, I thought that was really good. But really, that's my only real issue with this season. I think this is a really fun season. And yeah, despite its flaws, I had a really good time with it. What can I say? 8 out of 10. That's my score for Survivor All-Stars. 8 out of 10. I think it's a really good season. I thought it was a lot better than Pearl Islands. I know that's not a very popular take. But yeah, even though it has its flaws for sure, it's still a really good season. And yeah, America's Tribal Council is just absolutely fantastic, where people get a little less personal and they like just have fun. Rupert wins $1 million for being the most popular Survivor player ever at the time. It's just fantastic. So yeah, Survivor All-Stars, great fun season, really good. Love the Rob and Amber stuff. I mean, they got married because of Survivor. I don't even know if Rob was originally supposed to be on this season. Like, they originally casted Sean Rector from Marquesas, I think. And then, like, Colleen and Elizabeth from the first 2 seasons, they were supposed to come back, but they declined because they didn't want to do it. Elizabeth was the host of The View at that point. So, yeah, like, imagine if not all of that happened. Fair Play wasn't invited back for All Stars. That was a bit unfortunate. But, yeah, imagine if we didn't get what we had in this season. We wouldn't have the Rob and Amber stuff. that we do now. Rob and Amber never would have gotten married. And I don't think Rob would have been as iconic of a player as he is today if it weren't for that. So, yeah, you have to give it its props. With that being said, Survivor All-Stars gets an 8 out of 10. And there's my review of Survivor All-Stars. Did you guys enjoy this season? Let me know what you think of this season down below in the comments and where you would rank it on your season rankings. But yeah, let me know down below. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. And make sure to subscribe to my channel for more reviews to come in the future. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be the last Survivor review. I don't know if next Wednesday I'm going to be able to get my Survivor Vanuatu review up, because actually, at the time I'm filming this, I'm going to be in California. So, or at the time this video comes up, I'm going to be in California. And, I mean, who knows how long I'm going to be there. I don't know if I'm going to come back for a while because of the coronavirus and all that stuff going on in the world. Just, there's so much going on. So, yeah, there's no guarantee that I get my Vanuatu review out in time. In fact, there's probably a good chance it doesn't happen. Same with Palau, Guatemala, and all future seasons. So, yeah, there's a good chance that my Survivor season review series gets put on hold. But I feel like All-Stars was the proper season to end it with. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more to come in the future. And until the next video, whenever that is, once again, my name is the California Cougar, and always remember, stay California cool. Peace.